Controversies surrounding the White House right now threatening to engulf the Senate, where health care, remember that, and the rest of the Republican policy agenda must now compete for attention with confirmation hearings for a new FBI director, possible intelligence investigations. Republican Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota joins us now with the latest from inside the chamber. Senator, thank you for joining us. Let's just get to this story right now. The president today, in a commencement speech to those Coast Guard grads, blaming the media, says that he's been treated the worst of any president in history. What's your take on the Comey memo and how it's being handled?
Well, first of all, there's an inconsistency with the way that the White House is responding. But that's causing part of the problem. Also, most certainly, the media is out here, and they're going to take any advantage for controversy. That's always been the case. In the meantime, within the Senate, we're still trying to do the work on the health care issues, tax reform. We're spending our time behind closed doors where we have our lunches, talking about how we're going to be able to make the changes within and repealing Obamacare. It's a big challenge. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, and we're focusing on that. But it doesn't look that way here because all of the attention right now is on the White House.
Well, that's encouraging to hear, Senator, because as you can see from the markets, the fear is, as these controversies come out of Washington, that very pro-growth policy agenda of Mr. Trump's, the tax reform, health care reform, deregulation, infrastructure bill, all of that seems to be pushed to the back burner. Can you tell me that that's not true and there is work going on behind the scenes to get those issues up there, voted on and put in place?
The good news is that we continue to focus on health care and tax reform. There are committees whose focus is on what's going on at the White House. The Senate Select Committee on Intelligence and the Judiciary Committee will both have extra work to do regarding these particular issues that are in front of the public right now. That will take their time. But with regard to the Senate itself, there is an ongoing effort right now to bring 52 Republican senators together in order to make the changes in the health care, which is critically needed right now. We recognize that it's going to be an ongoing issue. It's not something that we're going to get done in a couple of weeks. But if we start now and we stay consistent with it, we'll have a good program available that I really think a lot of people in America are going to look at it and say, thank goodness we finally fixed the mess that we've been living with since 2009.
I think we all look forward to that, Senator, but how frustrating is it as you go about a lot of work and a lot of complicated work that you're having to deal with all of this noise coming out of Washington and the media about what Mr. Trump has said, the involvement of the Russians, and so on and so on?
It's consistent. It's every day. As one of our members said, it's like Monday every single day. It's one of those things where you're wondering what's going to pop next, and at the same time you're doing your best to respect the office of the presidency. You most certainly want to show respect for the presidency, but you also do your best to be honest with the American public. When you see inconsistencies coming from the White House, you want to be able to share that fact, and that you know, we're trying to do the job that an independent a body of government would do, which is the oversight where necessary. The ongoing operations of state government. We finally put together an omnibus bill a couple weeks ago that will fund government all the way until October of this year, which all by itself is something that we sometimes have a problem doing. So we're getting our work done, and at the same time, everything that we're talking about in the press, most of it has to do with what's going on in the White House right now. And occasionally we'll get a reporter that says, okay, so let's talk a little bit about health care and the fact that 2018 we've got things coming up that have got to be resolved.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. Senator Mike Rounds, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Appreciate it.